And we are live on the United Public Radio Network, UPRN 107.7 FM New Orleans and 105.3 FM on the Gulf Coast. And we are being live streamed wherever podcasts live. So we're not hard to find, including my YouTube channel. So go there and subscribe. To all those above me that watch over me, to all of you, my fave parapeeps, fellow experiencers, and brothers and sisters in Christ, welcome. This is Father Shawn's Paranormal Ministry. I'm your host, Father Shawn Whittington. I'm an ordained Catholic priest with the United States Old Catholic Church. I'm a fully professed brother and abbot with the Old Catholic Benedictines of Immaculate Mary, team member with Society of St. Benedict, and co-founder ghostbegone.biz. And yeah, I'm that guy on Eli Roth Presents the Legion of Exorcists, which is currently on a world tour, and I'm happy to announce it's doing quite well. I just recently heard from fans in Central South America, all over the UK, France, Germany, the Philippines. That's very exciting. So who knows? Might have a season 2 coming up here pretty quick. You never know. You never know. Crazier things have happened. If there's anything you want to know about my wife and I and our ministry work, go to our website, www.ghost-b-gone.biz. And if you go there to visit, there's a lot of cool things to see there. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Today's a very special episode of the show. It happens the last Friday of every month. It's a little thing we call Happy Medium Monthly. And if you've ever wanted a free, live, on-air psychic reading from a truly gifted psychic medium, this is the show. This is the episode. If you're watching the show and you have access to the chat room, the live chat, all you got to do once we get going is type your question in right there in the chat. Make sure you put your name in there and just type your question in. You'll get your reading. I promise. So that's what today is all about. And we can go over the rules of the readings later, but we're no conjuring of spirit. That's a different kind of show and takes a lot longer to do that, a different type of energy for my esteemed guest. So just like quickie 5-minute readings about love, travel, health, employment, money, things like that. You get the picture. You guys know how we roll here. So before I bring out my very special guest, I'm going to bring out my very special co-host. You all know her, you all love her, a lifelong paranormal experiencer, super cool lady. I love her, I respect her, I've known her forever. And she is my publisher and the owner of Stellium Books. Please give a big warm paranormal ministry family welcome to the one and only Annette Munich.
Hi, Father Shawn. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad to be here. Very excited to have our guests. We will always enjoy the last Friday of the month. We have a good time.
Absolutely. You look very pretty today. How you feeling? You were a little under the weather last week.
I was. I'm feeling better. I'm doing good. I had a nice holiday. How about you?
I did too. I ate too much. That's what I love about Thanksgiving. No Nutrisystem to be seen anywhere on Thanksgiving. That's my rule. Or on Christmas. So I stuffed my face, and it is what it is. So I saw something awesome on TV this morning. There was a world famous pizza maker doing his new rendition of Thanksgiving leftover pizza. And it looked delicious. And everybody on the set of the show were lining up for their piece or two. And everybody was raving about it. That sounds awesome, doesn't it?
No. No, I used to have my own pizza business. I had a pizza. It was carry out and delivery. It wasn't eat in, but yeah, I made pizza, pastas, sandwiches, really good beef sandwiches. I'm a traditionalist. I've not even worked my way up to pineapple on pizza yet. That is a no. I mean, you can do it, but it isn't real pizza. So what I do at Thanksgiving, cranberries and turkey on a crust, I absolutely would not.
Well, you might want to rethink that if you ever get back into that biz again because the pizza looked delicious. We have a pizza place, sandwich place here in town, and one of their most famous sandwiches is called the Bobby, and it is everything that you can think that you love about Thanksgiving, all in this hoagie, and it's delicious. So
But that's different. That's on bread, but that's still a little.
you got to try
There-
it. Just
There's a way that you do this. See, I know nobody cares about old school anymore, but not, you hit one of my nerves. Anything you put on a crust and throw any kind of cheese on top, they call it a pizza nowadays, but it isn't. My
that's true.
grandma was the first in her family born in America from Italy, so we were
Wow.
very. And I grew up in well, not all the way, but my first 10 years of my life, Italian neighborhood, south side of Chicago. The older people spoke Italian, mob people sprinkled here and there, Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra. That was my life. So there's rules about these things.
Well, if I ever come to visit you, I'm just throwing it out there right now. You better be prepared to make me one of your pizzas, one of your
I'm
signature
going to have,
Net Munich pizzas.
when you get here, I'm going to have all your Nutrisystem dinners waiting for you. And
Okay.
I'm going to eat meatballs in front of you.
Are you ready to bring out our guest?
Absolutely.
And we also have a little special surprise, which everyone will see as soon as I pull her on. I've known her, which seems like forever also. I love her and respect her too. I can count on both hands, probably not even on both hands, the truly gifted psychic mediums that I've met in my many years of being in this. I don't even know what you would call this field of ours, but she's got a hotline direct to heaven, many times over, near death experiencer, survivor. Um, so she's just super cool. Live from Cape Cod, Cape Cod's only live on air psychic radio personality. Everybody, please give a big warm Paranormal Ministry family welcome to the one and only Susan Ahearn and her paranormal filmmaking partner in crime, director of the new film STONEGATE, Daniel Groom.
Yay.
Hello.
Ta-da! Surprise!
Okay, so I've heard a rumor. First of all, I'm gonna let me see what we got here. We might have a reading. Do we have a reading already?
I do have one from Angelique. I'll put the question up and read it. Hi, Shawn. I would love to ask Susan a question. My name is Angelique. Does Susan see anything about me and Robert and our connection, or what is going on, what will come? Thank you so much. New subscriber. Oh, lovely.
Very cool.
Cool.
We love our chatters. Thank you for subscribing.
Beautiful name too, Angelique.
It is.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, I hope she's not talking about Robert the doll.
Oh no, let's not do that again.
And if she is, then she can be one of your clients on your new dating service you're going to start, Dating
Right.
Ghosts.
Dating goes exactly.
You know what? I saw Susan on Facebook, and she and Daniel went to that conference. It was in October.
Oh, we didn't get. Maybe we'll
And
get a
she
chance to
said-
talk about that.
Yeah, she said that there was Robert the doll there, and she was going to see Robert, and I just typed no in caps, going all the way across. Like,
No, that wasn't Robert. Robert wasn't there, but he should show up. I think that would be a good setup. That's another dating match because that was
Annabelle.
Annabelle.
oh,
Annabelle.
that's right, Annabelle. My
Yeah.
mistake.
Oh.
And now you just
Tried to
made
keep 'em.
Robert mad. Thank you, Nanette.
Roopsie, ruh-roh.
Keep your
Oh,
doll
I can-
straight, please.
I can tell
I'm
in a couple of
sorry.
days I'm gonna hear from Annette. She's gonna send me a message. There's stuff going on. I really must have pissed him off.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll say a
And
prayer
let's
for
just
you, Annette.
say
Light a
that
candle
Annette
for you.
gets her closet's pretty active. How has it been?
Okay, so the other day I did a house blessing, and I put some blessed salt and incense and holy water in there. I'm good.
Oh, good. All right.
Okay, so far so good.
All right.
There's always the possibility that, and I leave the door open now to the closet. For some reason, that makes me feel better. But that was the only time I had that problem, was when I was watching Daniel's movie.
Yeah.
We've had other things happen here, though. I don't want to distract you while you're doing your reading.
No, you're good. So my question would be, what is Robert's intention or connection? That would be my question. Where is he? Because I know your connection. I know what, Angelique, what you would like. And I'm seeing some towers around him. I'm seeing an issue. I've got the tower, the never, and then, this is Robert. So I would then ask, be real clear and say, just, what's your intention? Where are you going with this? Has your mind changed? Or, if you ask questions, people are going to answer them. So that would be what I would do. I'd say, hey, what's going on? What do you feel? What are you feeling? And then you'll know. Then you take the guesswork out of it. I'm just going to pull one more. You want to make sure that they're just not in it for the sex. That's the next thing. In a relationship, I would say, I need more than just, the physical. I need more from you. And if you don't really say that, then you're not going to get it. So you come in saying, this is what I need. And then if they say, well, I can't, that's not what I want, then you go, thank you very much. You pick up your game and go someplace else. That's what I would do.
Okay, lovely. I have a second question waiting for you here. Great answer. I think that's always, and I think more than ever now, people need good communication and clarity.
Right, because people change their minds. We change our minds. We're constantly shifting. We're in a time of huge shift, and it's really all about disclosure. We're seeing full disclosure on everything, and we have to start asking that from our relationships and say, "This is where I'm at. Does that meet where you're at now?"
Right.
We've changed. So
Carl's here. We love Carl. You know Carl. For anybody that doesn't know Carl, he usually comes on and we do Bigfoot shows, but Carl is also well versed in all aspects of the paranormal, and he also wrote, just like Susan wrote, an article in our new book, Help Me, I'm Haunted.
Yeah.
So Carl's question is, what do you see financially for me in 2026? I have a lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah, you do. I love Carl. So thank you, Carl. He's wonderful. So 2026 is going to be positive for you, Carl. I see that you've limited yourself in the past, and that's this self-imprisonment thing. Once again, there's sun coming in, so you've been holding yourself back, and I think that you're beyond that now. That's not going to happen anymore because I pulled the never card. So there's no more imprisoning, no more holding yourself back, no more standing in the shadows. The wheel is moving forward. And so it may not be as fast as you'd like it to, but you'll get there because we have to really take our time going into 2026 for everybody. But for you, it's about lining things up and making sure that your intention and your heart space is lining up with your direction. And so that's what I feel for you. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be woohoo, another good one. There you go. There's a lot of love surrounding you. You've got a lot of support surrounding you. I feel like it's also support from your higher being, your guides, that support system. Yeah, you're going to have a great 2026.
Very nice, lovely. I'm sorry about the meatball remark. That wasn't nice. I wouldn't do that to you. I'm feeling a little bit bad over here. Thought I'd bring it up. Carl says spot on what I feel as well.
Good.
Well, what do you guys want to talk about? Carl, thank you. I love you, brother. I got a couple of dates saved for you to come on in the next couple 3 months. I know you're probably out there doing some squatching, so save some good stories for when I bring you back on.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I want to talk about. let's talk about STONEGATE.
Yeah, let's Daniel
Why
talk.
not? Sure.
Daniel,
can sit
you are
back.
the
Who's there?
director of STONEGATE. You were gracious enough to put me in the credits as being responsible for being spiritual advisor, which I love you for that. That's very cool. It was not deserving, but I'll take it. I love the movie. Susan loved the movie. Everybody that was involved with the movie loved the movie. Actors, crew. Annette loved the movie. She had paranormal activity happen in her home when she was watching the movie. Um, it's been winning all kinds of awards, premiering at all kinds of film award places. It's now streaming on Tubi
Yep.
TV. Love that. You guys happen to be in a location where I don't know if it's the same location Susan always does Happy Media Monthly from, but I see the STONEGATE banner in the back, and I know you guys are interviewing um, people from that were in the movie for a new project that you're working on. Talk to us about where STONEGATE is now, and maybe is there might possibly be a STONEGATE 2, or if you have any, just like Carl's got a bunch of irons in the fire. What's up? What's up for the new up and coming next generation John Carpenter?
Ooh.
Well, thank you for letting me jump on. Like I said, we were just happening to do cast and crew interviews, and Susan was the last one, and I wanted to get it done before the end of the year. But yeah, I mean, STONEGATE's been doing great. Like you said, it's been on Tubi, and they just listed it under less than a week of it being out. It was listed under most popular horror, and I think that's a new accomplishment for me because this is my second movie on Tubi. It might even be my third. I can't keep track anymore, but the movie's been, we had great reviews on that. We had like 5 screenings since the last time I came on, and I think it was in June was the last time I was on. And since then we've had screening after screening in theaters. We actually just screened it in the Tewksbury Hospital. They put it on, and we had about another 100 people show up to that. And the great thing is all of these people are different generations. So I had Gen Z, millennials, and then the last screening was what's the proper term for this? Older people. So it's been I've gotten great feedback from all generations, and everyone seems to like it. Obviously there's the people online that are starting to chime in as well, saying it's not that scary and all that. I do think it was miscategorized a little bit, but it wasn't my idea to go out. We wrote it as a horror, but it doesn't come out like a horror because it's more of a drama and a thriller, and it's basically it's story first than it is scary.
Supernatural, psychological thriller,
Yeah.
drama. It is what it is. I mean, and I know I don't know because I'm not a director, a filmmaker, but I would imagine until I've heard interviews with other people. Like just the other day, I was watching an interview with who's the guy that did the last Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and he's done Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin, yep.
He still gets it. Still bothers him when he gets bad reviews. So it is what it is. It's your passion. You put so much blood, sweat, and tears, and like it's part of you. It's just like an extension of you up on the screen. Your thoughts and your ideas and it's your baby. You're gonna still have that. So I wouldn't worry about. I mean, who cares?
No. I'm happy to get them because it's showing me that people are watching it, whether they like it or not. And it's also things to improve on. If I really wanted it to be a straight up horror movie, then I'll take that feedback and I'll apply it to the next project. But at this time, it's more, like I said, story first. And I want to create the atmosphere, which I'm sure you noticed in the movie. It's more atmospheric than anything.
Yeah. That's totally cool that you guys got a chance to premiere the film in the location where you filmed it at, because that location's awesome.
Yeah, it was a cool place. We did it in where we had all the cast and crew. It was their base camp, and it's basically It's actually an old church. It's called the Old Chapel. So it was kind of fitting for the guy who played the priest, Mark Lund. He was there with us too, along with a few other cast members too.
So what's this interview process you guys are going through right now?
Right now, this was just to talk about our paranormal experiences on the movie. I've done it with all the other cast members just on their regular experience, but we had a lot of stories to tell as far as the ghost side of things. Although some things we couldn't really mention.
Yeah, there
Will
was
this
some
be-
things we couldn't share, but there was a lot of paranormal experiences that we all were affected by. And, we discussed it and we said, you know what, that in itself is a little show, so let's gather that and kind of spin it off and add it to it because it was really important. And they were, what we forgot to talk about? There's, well, maybe you didn't, and I didn't know about it, but, there was stuff that he kept in the movie.
Oh,
yeah. And when we were up at the Rock Harbor,
Rock Island.
Rock Island Paracon. It wasn't even called that. Esoteric Expo.
Rock Island Roadhouse Esoteric.
Thank you. It was a very long one. I couldn't get it any time. But anyway, so I would mention it to the people coming by our table. And I said, check out the movie in the first minute and a half. Look for this, look for that. It was just kind of exciting to be able to know that information, the behind the scenes stuff. And I said, let's make that something. We need to create that because that's just as juicy as the movie. So, and anyway, so a card popped out for Daniel. And this is the future, the fortune card, and it's going up the golden staircase. So that's pretty good. There's some money to be had. There's some booty in a little treasure chest at the top. So he's going places. I keep telling him he's going places. The universe is now you're going places.
Nice.
And I've heard that Daniel likes booty.
Nice.
Well, it's at the top of the stairs, so he's going to have to go for it. He's going to have to walk for it to get some.
That's
and
funny.
then the show takes a predictable left turn.
What about you? I remember that last time you were on, we had a lot of people. That was quite active in the chat room. People asking you questions, getting their psychic reading, and we didn't get a chance to talk about that expo that you guys were at. And I know that place is haunted off the charts. So talk to us about, and Annabelle was there. Talk to us about being at that place. You guys were going to also, I think, go on a paranormal investigation and you were going to report back, and we didn't talk about it.
No, we didn't. All right. You want to take it?
Well, you left early from the investigation. That's for sure.
Yeah.
She gets scared easy.
Well, this time I wasn't scared. It's a long day. We started, what time did we start?
5 a.m.
5
Which is normal for me.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I am not a 5 a.m. person. Nope. So we got up and it was 90 degrees in the building. Oof. And it's an old building. It was the old YMCA, no AC.
In October, which is weird.
In October, you're right. So it was super hot then. And we were lucky. We were right by the door. So we were getting steamy air, but it didn't matter. It was something. So we were tired. At the end of the day, there was a lot of energy. There was two people that I know of that got overcome by an energetic force. One of them, and I don't know the whole story because I wanted to be respectful, but he was lying down and he was down for the count. It was one of the volunteers' husbands that probably got roped into doing it, didn't want to be there in the first place. And now the energy had knocked him right out. He was in the pool area. And so he was no longer, they shut that area down. They weren't going to let anybody else go into that area. So I don't know really what happened, but he was out. I mean, he was lying down and he was out.
That is scary.
Yeah, that's some heavy stuff. And I'm like, why didn't you ask somebody to come over? I was right there. We could have done some, do what we do.
I was interested to ask you about your experiences there because you being gifted, I wonder if you ever go to some of these places where you have plans to go in and investigate and tour around and take it all in. But sometimes a place can just be a little bit too psychically or spiritually overwhelming, and sometimes you just go, uh, "No, I'm not up for it. This place is just a bit too much." Do you ever get that?
Yeah, I really was preparing. I was preparing Daniel for what we were cut because I could feel ahead of the game. I'm like, oh, Daniel, we're going to be walking into some stuff. And then there were even people that were bringing stuff in, like in their own attached to themselves. They said, we're walking into something really big here. So we just did our power protection. Even in our travel, before we even left the house, I'm like, protect yourself, make sure you get there. Cause we had to, it was a lot of travel. And, I was just constant contact with my guides and support team, my spiritual support team, so that wouldn't happen. Cause I'm like, I have to be in there a whole day. That's a lot of energy. The basement in that area was also pretty active. So I just didn't go down there.
I did. I went to the boiler room.
Well, we did go to the boiler room, but there was another room before the boiler room that they said was pretty active. The people
Well, I
were,
knew Daniel would go in there because I still get people reaching out to me all the time. I noticed that you just had Susan on. What's going on with her and the gang and mass hauntings? So, Daniel, you can talk to us a little bit about your experiences at the expo, and then give us an update on mass hauntings.
Yeah, the expo. I think I could say that what Susan, the bubble that she put over us, works because I didn't really experience anything in the building during business hours, so to speak. I was more focused on promoting the movie and all the other, the talk that we had, the class on equipment. You make your own equipment there too. So a lot of that just it was either around me and it just blew over my head. But I will say, once we got back for the VIP investigation, I actually was getting irritated a little bit.
Well, too much Susan, a little bit at times.
But that's the thing. She left.
that would do it. I would admit that wouldn't make anybody irritated.
She was saying that she was getting irritated from there, and I was feeling it too. But it wasn't as, I don't know how she was feeling, but it wasn't as bad for me to leave. But I could feel that there was an energy, and this was on a floor. I later found out was I actually don't know exactly what happened, but there was some torturing that happened on that floor. It was like on the fourth floor.
Yeah, and someone was killed and tortured or something. Yeah. I was getting angry, so I don't think I was even there 10 minutes, and they were just setting us up for, this is what we're going to do in this floor, and this is what's happening, and like people were bothering me, and they weren't doing anything. Like there's a girl with her phone on, and I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? She's in a hot, she needs a flashlight. Like, and I'm getting like really upset at this girl. And then this guy over here was like doing something, but I don't even think he was doing anything. And I'm just like, oh my God, what is this? Like, what the heck? And I realized, oh, Susan, you're just getting angry about nothing. And it was the energy on the floor. It was the entity on the floor wanted people to get pissed off. And I recognized that in myself and said, okay, this is not realistic. I told one of the girls, I said, you know what? I got to leave. I'm getting angry. And then I left. And she said to me just the other day, she goes, it just registered to me now. She said, I didn't know what you meant when you said you were getting angry. She goes, I was getting angry too. Like that made sense to her. Mm-hmm. And so I missed the whole investigation because I was like angry. The minute I got downstairs, whoop, it went all away. I'm like, oh, I feel so much better down here. It was like instantaneous. But if you had to stay up there or rent a room up there or teach a class up there, oh, it would find you and it would latch on. And it had to be strong because there was a good 30 people, at least 20.
Yeah.
On that floor. So there was at least 20 other people. And so it had to be strong if it could go up against that energy. And then there were some people that have never gone on investigations before. So they may not even know, why are they getting angry? So, yeah. So I was like, I don't need this. I've got to go before I punch somebody and I need bail money. Cause I was getting that angry. It was like,
it's a lot of people. You're right. They have blinders on and they don't even realize what's happening to them. So that was I think it's because of who you are and what you do, you were able to recognize that. But I've seen many people that have been paranormal investigating for long time have that happen to them, and they don't. It takes other people to have to tell them, we think we should remove you from this location because you're not yourself right now. Um, it's weird how that happens to even your most experienced investigators. They don't even realize it's happening to them. That's the scary thing.
And I think it does really target the most experienced because those are the ones you want to take out. The innocent ones don't even see you coming. So they want to take out those people first. If you get, they're not going to be, because I'm always on guard. I'm always watching. So, let's take Susan out so they don't watch what we're going to do next. And yeah, I say that the brighter you shine, the more they're coming for you. And I feel bad for the people that go out by themselves. I always say, don't go by yourselves. You don't
Yeah.
even know, because that personality change can happen really quickly.
Yeah.
You can get sick very fast, like dizzy, nauseous, disoriented.
Yeah.
That happens in a second and you never see it coming. It's like, whoomp. So don't go by yourself. And it's more fun to go with somebody else anyways.
Yeah, well, you have some of these teams. I've had people reach out to me. A lot of ghost hunters reach out to me with having issues, and I have these teams that will go to a location, then they'll split up. And I've had teams report back to me later that they would get lost in locations that they really knew how to have been there before and know how to navigate around and know the place quite well. Get in there, and something comes over them, and then they get lost.
Mhm.
And they don't, it's like every single room they go into is a dead end. Every hallway they go down is a dead end. Every floor they go down is totally sealed off. And then they start to panic. Yeah, it's scary. Don't go by yourself.
No. I
And
want to
don't go ahead.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I got some AirPods and I thought, this would be really good to put in my pocket on an investigation. And then I wanted to do while we were doing Bigfoot, going out into the woods. Because if someone gets, probably me, if I get lost, then at least you'll be able to find me or be able to see if there was missing time, or because I have disappeared on an investigation before. I go off camera and they're like, I was gone for half an hour and there was cameras in every room. So where did I go?
Wow.
And gone. And no one could find me. And I don't think anyone's looking for me, but no one could find me. And they're like, well, where'd you go? And I'm like, I was right there. What are you talking about? So I didn't realize I disappeared.
That happened to me too once. The one time that I went to the Conjuring house with Dave Foley, he was on Mass Hauntings as well. He disappeared on me. We went out to the house, outside of the house, and within 2 seconds, I'm closing the door. He's gone down there's a river or something. I never saw the river. You could hear it, but he was gone and I couldn't find him. And it's all on camera. And I told him, Dave, why did you just leave that? And he's like, what? I didn't leave. I was like, yeah, you did. I literally have 2 seconds of footage of me closing the door and you are already gone.
Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
It happens. Yeah. Right.
Well, let me remind everybody again. We're having a good time talking, but if you're watching the show, this is your opportunity to get a free reading live on air from Susan. So you've got access. If you're watching the show, you've got access to the chat room. Just type your question in for Susan, and you'll get it.
We got Carl with a comment, and he also had another question.
Okay.
And he also has another comment. But we love you, Carl, so that's okay. I used to get drained a lot at specific locations. Then one day I was able to tap into an energy source that feels limitless. That's very interesting. He also is saying, I've had missing time in the woods. At the same time, 3 others experienced that as well. That's interesting.
Yeah. I wonder what would short of showing up on the screen that I'm just going in circles. I'm wondering if it would recognize that we were gone, that missing time thing. So get your AirPods on and let me know.
Yeah.
It's interesting too, because when you talk about portals and vortexes and things like that, is it possible you accidentally stepped through something and now, you know, you're going to lose that time and you don't even maybe realize what happened, but somebody else tells you, we've been looking for you for 3 hours. You know,
Right.
like,
Yep. Yep.
okay, so here's his question. He's asking about his wife here.
Yeah, I just noticed that Carl earlier asked about his wife.
Take others before mine, but curious about my wife's health for 2026. I'm always cautiously optimistic.
All right. Let's go for it. Her guides are coming in, so it's not going to be on cards. She has to be careful of energy that she comes in contact with. For whatever reason, she is sensitive. I don't want to say vulnerable, so we're going to say sensitive, but it does almost feel like it's vulnerable. Like I want to protect her energy field. So whatever that is, they're not getting personal or specific, but they are saying that you can put that bubble around her. You can protect her. And once again, it's up to her to decide whether she wants the bubble or not. But that's what she needs. She needs just a little extra protection, whether it's
Archangels?
no, it's galactic. I was trying to see where it was. It's the energy that she's going to have to be sensitive to is what's happening in our solar system. So it could be the solar flares. It could be that kind of stuff is going to be a lot for her system, her overall physical system. And we want to make sure that she's strong enough to handle that. And I feel like she's sensitive in that area, like her health is sensitive. And she's probably an empath anyways. So I would practice a power protection around that and asking her guides to say, can I navigate through this? Can you show me how to navigate through the changing energies on our planet? And like the earthquakes coming up, that could be sensitive to her being. So that's where she needs to be careful of. It's on an energetic realm.
And that's really interesting too. We've had a lot of activity in that regard lately. You know, that they're talking about things in space, and it was really interesting. Was it last week that they had the Aurora Borealis, and a lot of people were able to see that very far south in our country, which is extremely rare.
Yeah, we're headed right now. I guess it happens every 11 years. And so we're at the 11th year. So we will be working our way out of that intensity, but we're at the height of it right now. And so that's why we're seeing the Aurora Borealis, because of the solar flares are making it. It's dancing with the light and the energies in the solar system.
So do you think that those kind of things also blend with astrology?
Yeah. But it's a scientific thing where it's every 11 years, I guess the sun has these burps, we'll call them solar burps, and they end up releasing. They say who they are. I'm not sure. But it's on a scientific level. So
Heidi said, I believe I've experienced time slips.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Before I forget, Sharon wanted me to tell you hi. She's going to be not able to watch the show live today because of work, but she wanted me to thank you for her reading. And she also finds it very odd, and I know you do, that her reading just disappeared.
Right?
It is weird.
Yeah. And so you want to talk about what disappeared?
Oh, yeah. The videos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, part of our project that we're doing, separate from that, is we're just recording things, and then you know you're going to be involved in all that. And somehow the video that we recorded of a certain, I don't know if we want to mention it, but we recorded an interview and it just disappeared.
Wow.
Right off my computer.
Wow.
Yep.
And it was interesting, this particular thing, that this one particular project that this person has, why am I being so cryptic? I'm sorry. So this guy that we're interviewing has a haunted object. And the haunted object did not like me. And so right away, I wasn't surprised that it disappeared. And Daniel was feeling really bad. And I'm like, dude, this is what happens when you deal with crazy energies and haunted objects. It's stuff disappears. And we were joking about coming to Las Vegas and how we were going to prepare for not losing anything and making sure, because if things disappear, they disappear. And I'm like, oh, this is such a pain in the neck. Like, people think it's really easy to film. It is not, especially filming haunted things in haunted areas. Like, it goes through more equipment, more connections, more of this, that, and the other things, more light bulbs, more. Yeah, it's hard. Feel our
I think
pain.
Sharon, what she enjoyed most about her last reading was the part where you had said that in her next life she's going to end up with somebody better than me. She enjoyed that.
I said this life, not last. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Father Shawn's brutal paranormal ministry. Welcome home.
It's a little psychic joke. We do that.
I'll tell you what. I'm without giving too much away.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that I've sent you guys a lot of evidence that I captured at a place where I ended up with a very extremely haunted object. And lately, as we get closer to you guys coming out, and you're coming out for a wedding, but we're gonna, the three of us are gonna hook up and talk a little bit about this object. It's been binging. It's been ringing.
Love it.
Yep.
So that's
Can't wait.
Isn't it awful? We're like so excited. What? Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Have your gloves on when we meet, and it's heavy too. I'm gonna need a dolly.
Wow.
Okay.
Carried from out of the trunk. Cheryl probably have to help me get it in my trunk, and then I'll need help getting it out of the trunk and the dolly to wheel it to wherever you're going to film it. But yeah, it's already
It's more than she does.
Yeah, it's already letting you guys know it knows you're coming, and
Can't wait for this.
Yeah.
okay.
So, yep.
I got another comment from Carl. I watched solar flares at Kitt Peak Observatory outside of Tucson. The Vatican didn't let me in their observatory on Mount Graham, though. That's really interesting. And it's very interesting. A lot of people don't know that the Vatican has, I think, the most advanced observatories out there. And they know a lot about what's going on. And I would venture to guess, I don't think they talk about it too much, but as far as UAPs and whatnot, they've been watching all this stuff for a long time.
Oh, but they know about it. They're not telling.
Right. They never tell anything.
No.
So that's
let's see. Let's ask a question to see if the Vatican knows. Vatican's in the hot seat right now.
Right.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, they've got people protecting that like nobody's business. That's the warrior card.
Sure, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's lockdown. Okay, will we know? Let's ask. Are we going to know? Will they ever say anything? Probably not, because they're going to have to. No, the peace card is that they're afraid that it's going to unravel a whole bunch of stuff, and their objective is to keep the peace. They want to keep everything the way it is, and it's not going to happen because it's all under the stars, literally, that it's time. Like, this is part of the plan. This discovery is part of the plan, and we need to be able to weave that into our religious beliefs because it is a part of it. It was just a section that wasn't talked about. Yeah, it's a coming. It's going to happen. It's the gathering of, it's the coming of information, the support network. We're just going to it's going to be okay. We just, it was a story we didn't, they didn't know how to put it into the original plan, and now they're going to have to. So it'll be
Well,
fine.
those of us in the know that the Vatican now has some pretty intense courses and classes now for priests, uh, training them how to handle first contact. So
Right? You have to.
what's that tell you? You know?
Right, right. Oh, then nothing's happening. So it's the ending of, it's the death of the way that we know things to be. And so we know that it has to end, but a new beginning. It doesn't have to be a horrible ending, but it just has to be that was, and now this new information will present itself as a new beginning and a new way of looking at it. And yeah, and I'm glad they're training people because we're going to need that. People aren't going to handle it well. Some aren't, and some are going to be really excited.
Yeah.
I'm like, woo, woo, can't wait.
I think this is just me, but if you don't believe in that anymore, you just don't want to. There's so much evidence now that everybody's got a camera and a video in their pocket. I'm talking about UFOs, UAP. That if you don't believe that that's real, you just don't want to believe in it. That's all there is to it, because there's so much.
And
There's
those
so
people are
much.
going to be the ones that aren't going to handle it well at all when it just
No, no.
right in their face. Finally,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, right. And with this comet, what's it called?
3-Eye Atlas.
3-Eye Atlas. I
I
mean,
heard about that last week too.
yeah, there's no getting around that one. It's
Interesting.
defying all scientific explanation of your run-of-the-mill comet, asteroid, any other
Yeah.
whatever happens. So it's projecting, it's emitting, it's moving in different ways that they can't explain it. And I just love it. It's like, I love when they can't explain it and they have to go, we don't know. This is
Yeah.
beyond our explanation. And there's going to be things that are beyond our explanation. We
Yeah.
aren't going to always get information. There's some things in the world we just are not going to get the answers to. And we have to be okay with that.
So what's this I hear about you possibly starting a dating service for ghosts?
Right? I think I know more ghosts than I do people. So, yeah, it may work. It may just work. I think we should try that.
We've all dealt with people like that. I mean, I have that one famous client of mine that, said that he was all his life he has had the ghost of a former wife from a previous life with him all his life, this life now, and that he became a paranormal investigator, and this ghost of a former wife from a former life followed him to this location where she started, according to him, flirting with this male ghost there at this location and invited this male ghost
Cheating.
to come back home with them.
A
And
cheating
then the male
ghost.
ghost got all mad and jealous and started to attack him because now he
Whoa.
wanted the female ghost all to himself. So, yeah, it takes all kind. I do believe he was experiencing something, but it takes all kinds. But you sent me that article on that woman in Europe that she's famous for marrying that 100-year-old ghost of a pirate, and then that relationship after a while got so scary that she had to perform her own exorcism on herself. What do you say to people that do that? I mean, it reminds me of a lot of people right now having these relationships with AI, these really personal, sometimes more than just a personal relationship with these AI, artificial intelligence entities, or what label you want to put on. What would you like to say to these people out there that are falling into that trap? Because it is a trap.
Yeah. I'd say at least the people that are falling in love with ghosts or energies or entities, at least there's an energy there. With AI, there's no energy. It's just a computer. But I had that one ghost when I lived in the barn he was a young farmhand, and the barn was an old barn, and I had an apartment up above. And he used to come in at night and he would turn down my blankets.
Wow.
And then I thought, well, that's kind of weird because I don't sleep still. So I was like, neatly placed and the sheets were very neatly placed. And then okay, well, bring the sheets up and I'll come with the blankets. And then they were down a little bit further. And my hands were placed the same way again. And I'm like, what is happening? This is really weird. And then the third time, that's when I really freaked out because you gaslight yourself when you're, I don't know, I do with haunted experiences. Oh, that didn't happen, or I didn't really hear that, or maybe I'm making it up. Or the last time my blankets were way down to my waist, down to my hips. And I went, okay, I know what's going on here. This is not my first rodeo. It is with a ghost, but it ain't happening. And but I would wake up and I could hear people pushing. It almost sounded like hay bales against a sandy wood floor, kind of like a shh, shh. But they said it used to also have, it was an apple farm. So there were like wooden boxes against wood that was sandy. It would sound like someone was pushing stuff around and I'd wake up and there was clearly nothing there. It was a tiny little space. But or it sounded like a waiting room, like there were people outside my bedroom having a conversation. So I knew the place was haunted. And then I saw this particular young man in my dreams, like I was having a dream. So I don't think it was a dream. I think he was connecting with me on a spiritual level in my sleep. So there was that. And then I just said, hey, cut it out. This isn't okay. Like that's a boundary we crossed. Like,
well, listen, we're getting close to that time, and I wanted, like I said, I've told you this before. How long have we been doing this? I mean, we used to have Happy Medium Monday, way back in the day, the early years of the show, and then we have now for a while we've had Happy Medium Monthly, and I still, to this day, will get people reaching out to me afterwards, saying, I was watching the show, great show, love Susan, wanted to ask her a question so bad, don't know why I did. Next time. So that's all I can say, guys. Is you've got a couple of minutes left before I got to kick Susan out of here. If you want to ask her a question, you haven't already done so. But that was also a weird film footage you sent me about the guy in the church.
In the church.
I freaked out.
Yeah, he broke into that church and he fractured his skull because he was clearly on something, but he definitely was acting possessed. Did you think so? Because that just wasn't. Yeah, he definitely was acting possessed. There is a shift. There's an energy shift that I recognize when people are possessed. There's just a different energy about them. And yeah, granted, he was acting really bizarre and he may have been out of it. But when you open up that opportunity to be out of your body, out of your mind, on drugs or alcohol or whatever, that's when they come in. You open that opportunity for something to possess you. And I think at some point he did that. And when you let that guard down, then they become even more stronger. So it made him break into the church and he was just standing there with his arms out. And then he fell backwards without putting his arms out or anything and just cracked his skull on the.
He kept doing it over and over and over again.
Right. And that was granite or something. It was beautiful, but he was just, and, oh yeah, it was gross.
Yeah.
But that's it. And he was hurting himself and he didn't even feel it.
And then it took 4 or 5 large cops to subdue him.
Yeah. And then he was taking the crucifix and stabbing himself with it. It was insane. And that was a recent video. So it's happening. People out there, just be careful. Make sure you ground yourself, cleanse yourself, put powders of protection around. Do what works for you, whatever your favorite thing is. Because like Daniel said, it does work. You just have to put it in there before you get attacked. So, right. Yeah.
Well, for all of you watching that wanted a reading, but for whatever reason you didn't ask Susan, you can reach out to her after the show for a reading. And that's your website, if I remember correctly, is Cape Cod Happy Medium, all one word.com.
Right. Yeah. And blow up my YouTube. You can find me at Susan Ahearn. Happy Medium. And what are you, Daniel? Drop it.
I have my Instagram, which is PAE Films, and on Facebook it's the same thing. It's actually Paraactor Entertainment. And make sure you watch my movie. It's on Tubi. It's free.
Stonegate. Yes,
Yeah.
guys. Well, if you haven't seen Stonegate yet, watch Stonegate. You can purchase it also if you don't have Tubi. Can anybody get Tubi? Is it a streaming service you got to
Don't.
apply to?
No need for an
Mm-mm.
account or anything. You just
Nope.
got to sit through a couple ads if you need, but that's it.
Very cool. So, anything you want the masses to know, Daniel, about mass hauntings or uh, anything before we're done?
Well, Mass Hauntings is taking a hiatus. Maybe indefinitely. We'll know. We'll see. But I'm still investigating with some friends and, with other members of the team who happen to become friends. So just be on the lookout for that kind of stuff. We'll probably going to be looking at different locations to go to throughout next year as well. So.
Oh, how about in January when all three of us are together?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do an investigation out in Las Vegas.
We know the strip's haunted for sure.
There's 2 or 3 really good haunted tours out here. One takes you out to this ghost town, which is about a 45-minute bus ride. We can just drive out there ourselves, but there's a couple in town here, a couple of different haunted tours, which I've taken many times. They're really good. I have never. People are surprised when I tell them all the time I've never gone to Zach Baggins' haunted museum. Sharon and I have driven by it many times, and her and I can both feel a lot of negative energy from that place, and we just have, because of that, what we feel, we just have not had the urge to want to go in there. So maybe you guys might want to do that while you're here. So
I have been
who
in
knows?
there.
We'll
You're
see.
right. It is
It's
pretty
weird.
dark in there.
It is weird.
Well, you're collecting a whole bunch of different energies, so I wouldn't be surprised. But thank you so much for having us.
Yes.
Well, Daniel, I gotta throw some dates out at you after today is over with, because I want to get you back here.
Yes.
So without Susan, so we can talk a little bit about her behind her back.
Yeah.
We weren't able to do that today. So I love you both. You guys have a great, long, happy Thanksgiving weekend, and I'll talk to the 2 of you very soon. And I'll let Annette say goodbye to you real quick.
Thank you so much. So glad you were here, and really surprised and happy to see Daniel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you're invited to Las Vegas too, Annette.
Yes.
Wow, woohoo.
We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Daniel Groom and Susan Ahearn. Yeah, this is sometime late January, Annette, if you can somehow arrange to make it out here. They're coming out for a wedding, but we're all going to get together and share some
That's pretty cool.
stories and do some filming and stuff. So you're more than invited if you can get out here. Anything you want to tell everybody? Yeah, if you many people have bought the book, Help Me, I'm Haunted. Go back to Amazon and leave a review.
We could use some great reviews. That would be nice.
I love you.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. Have a great weekend, and we
I'll see you
appreciate
later.
you and love our chatters.
God bless you. I'll talk to you soon. Annette Munich, Stellium Books. We'll be here next Friday, December 5th, for First Fridays with Father Shawn and Annette. We open up the chat room and we just take questions from the chat room that whole hour. And that's next Friday, December 5th. I love you all. I wouldn't have a show without all of the support from you guys. So God bless you all for that. God bless United Public Radio Network. Good night, Danny. Good night, Jack. Good night, Dog. Good night, Harold. Rest in peace. Good night, Ernie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Dan. I love you all. God bless you all in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Peace.